possible under the latest NCAA rules change. Now, if they play him a lot, then they'll have a true postman. If not, they'll be helter-skelter all over the floor. Chris, we certainly remember what happened in the NCC Holiday Basketball Tournament. We don't... Kriener gets it easily, goes to Marks, and he hands it off to Dufault. Dufault out front on the right side to Conlon. Now to Kriener at the point. Conlon, right wing, being watched by our friend from GFW, Scott Springer, down low. Kriener, left corner. Conlon open for a three-pointer on the way. In and out, and the rebound is to Marks, puts it up and in. Marks with awfully good position. Thurston, right corner, Poole. Back out to Thurston. Thurston from Key West. And we're not talking about Key West, Iowa. Poole out front, Springer. Springer on the dribble to the right side. Springer can do a lot of things. Tends to be a little bit out of control now and then. Harvey, baseline jumper, short. Rebound underneath. Conlon scrambling for it and picks it up. Here come the Mavericks. Quickly, Dufault left side. Fred Lee back to Dufault, right wing. To Conlon. Down low, Kriener on the right block. Back out front. Marks left of the circle. Fred Lee left corner. Both teams using a man-to-man so far. Kriener looking at it from three-point range. That would be an oddity. He didn't do it, obviously. Now Lee left wing out front. Conlon left side Lee. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. The Mavericks taking plenty of time. Dufault looking to Kriener. 10 seconds on the shot clock. To Conlon, now to Lee. Lee is open. The pass wasn't there, though. Lee gets it loose, though. Partially blocked. I think they had him on the forearm, and the rebound is taken by Thurston, and then falling over him is Harvey, and Harvey picks up the basketball and saves it before there was a traveling violation. Not pretty, but he got it done. Knocked his own man to the floor after he picked up the rebound. Poole out front. Left side, Springer fake, doesn't shoot. Thurston, corner, three-pointer, good. Left side, Thurston scoring. Now this is Dufault to the right side to Conlon. Conlon goes around Springer, stops on the right baseline, out to Marks. Kriener. Now to Conlon. Loops it into Marks. Fred Lee. Now to Conlon on the right wing, right of the circle. Now to Dufault. Dufault left side to Kriener. Kriener to Conlon. Three-pointer on the way. High off the rim, no good. Kriener the rebound. Hard back to the basket. Jumper, no good. Rebound. Marks puts it up there. It is. Now the Mavericks inside game working.
Nathan Marks with both the Maverick baskets, both on rebound offensive boards, and that'll be a hard situation for the Huskies to cover tonight. Nathan Marks hard to keep off the boards. He's got a lot of size.
Yep, he sure does. when he wants to play. It's tough. Rudolph from outside, 16-footer is good. Kriener got caught behind a pick, couldn't come out there, and Rudolph hit it. Boy, he's just a dead shooter from that distance. 5-4, St. Cloud State leading. Out front with the basketball on the left wing. Now Kriener to the point on the right side. Lee being watched by Poole. Dufault in the circle. He's open right through from 15. Thurston got caught behind the pick that time, and Dufault drilled it. 6-5 Mankato State. 16:39 to play in the first half. Left side, Springer. Springer looking inside now down to Harvey. Pardon me, not Rudolph. Harvey, little jump hook, doesn't go, and the rebound is snatched away by Dufault. He took it away from Poole. Dufault up the right side, spins away from Thurston, goes to the left side to Lee. Lee holding it on the wing, being watched by Poole. Now Dufault top of the circle. Both teams strictly with a man-to-man. Fred Lee, left corner. Dufault, left wing. Top of the key. Conlon, right side, Lee, down low. Kriener gets loose, lays it off the glass. It doesn't go. Offensive foul. I promised I'd button my lip tonight.
Offensive foul on Rich Kriener, the first of the game. It looks like to me Rich didn't deserve that call, and they should have gone the other way with it, but they go with the offensive foul. It's the first foul of the ball game. 6-5 Mavericks with just under 16 minutes to go in the half.
Poole out front has it, being watched by Lee on the right side. Springer looking inside, fakes the pass, doesn't do it. Now over here underneath, all alone, Thurston, and he is fouled by Dufault. Dufault saves the basket as the Huskies showing awfully good ball movement there. Got it around underneath to Thurston from Poole, by the way.
Huskies been doing an excellent job of picking the Maverick players. Dufault's been caught a couple of times, and that time Thurston breaking free under the basket, but Monty recovered enough to foul him and prevent the 2 points.
Thurston at the line. He has 3 points on a three-pointer. Shot is up and good. Orion Thurston. Transfer. Junior college, Key West, Florida. 5-10. Eyes the basket. Second time, it's up and good. Thurston. 7-6. St. Cloud leading by 1. Up to Fred Lee. Lee hurrying down the left side with it. Comes to the point. Bounce pass right side. Conlon open. 18-footer on the way right through. That time the Mavericks didn't waste any time. Got the open man the ball, and he was open by a long shot. Had plenty of time to get set up for that, and when you give Chris Conlon that kind of time, he'll make it.
Huskies pressed that time, Casey, and a good job by the Mavericks of beating it and then attacking it. Conlon with the open jumper.
There's Springer driving for the basket, loses the basketball, goes out of bounds off the hands of Thurston underneath. Thurston tried to save it, couldn't do it. 8-7, Mankato State by 1. Tight game so far, but it usually is when these two get together. As we said, the records go out the window. Conlon, right side. Out front, to the big guy, Mark. Now to Conlon on the right wing. Husky staying with that man-to-man so far. Dufault comes to the right side, out front with it. Now back to the right side. Gets inside the hash mark, gives it to Conlon, top of the circle. Left side, Lee. Down low, Kriener. Kriener fakes, doesn't shoot on the turnaround. Back to Lee. Lee drives into the lane. I think he was fouled, yes, on the knee by Binky Poole. Poole stuck that knee out there to stop him as he made his move around Poole. And that's the first foul on St. Cloud.
Took 5.5 minutes, 5 minutes and 10 seconds for them to draw their first foul. The Mavericks will inbound it, leading 8-7, 14:50 to go in the half.
Lee will pass it in, gets it out to Dufault. Thurston making a good attempt at it. Conlon from the corner. So the Mavericks go up 11-7 on Conlon's three-pointer out front. Thurston. Thurston has it on the dribble, being watched by Dufault. Right side, Rudolph. Rudolph behind a double pick. Doesn't get it away, though, as Kriener fought through and got to him. On the right side, Springer tries to get loose, gives it back to Rudolph. Quick jumper out of the corner is good. About a 15-footer by Rudolph. 11-9. Mankato State by 2. Conlon on the right wing, out front. Marks at the circle. Loops it inside to Kriener back out front. Conlon fakes his man, gets him up in the air, down to Kriener. Kriener on the left block, up and off the glass, doesn't do it. Tips it once, goes after it. He is fouled from behind by Rudolph. Kriener much quicker inside than anybody that St. Cloud has.
The offensive boards, the Mavericks really showing that they're a lot stronger is Kriener and Marks doing an excellent job early in the game of going hard to the boards. That time Kriener drawing the foul. Will go to Rudolph. It'll be the second personal foul on St. Cloud. Both teams have two now. We have our first substitution of the game.
Mark Carlson, 6'7", 205, a freshman from Fort Dodge, Iowa, in for St. Cloud. Underneath the Kriener. Kriener jumps it up. It doesn't go. Marks the rebound. Back to the basket off the glass. Kriener with the rebound on the other side. Drops it in. Well, there. You saw the two twins underneath just battling away, controlling it. Not shooting the highest percentage, but they were playing catch off the glass with a Poole from outside, no good. Kriener with the rebound, quickly, up to Dufault. I think he stepped out of bounds.
Awfully close. He was awfully close.
He got away with one. Up to Lee, now to Dufault. High post Kriener, right side Conlon. Conlon on the dribble, back out front Marks. Marks might start shooting from there if they give him that shot because he can hit it. Down low to Fred Lee. He's got Poole posted up. He drops it up, no good. Tipped up and in by Marks. What a move by Fred Lee. He made it happen.
Offensive rebound again. This time Marks. Last time it was Kriener. Those two are just controlling the board.
15-9, Mankato State. Right side Springer looking inside, still looking, loops it underneath, knocked away by Kriener, but into the hands of Rudolph from Dufault, who tried to save it. Outside, the long jumper short on the rim by Thurston. Rebound comes out Dufault. Dufault racing down, stops. He'll jump it up from 18. Great move. He was thinking about Kriener underneath as he was breaking for the basket, and then he pulled up and decided to shoot it instead. It turned out to be a good decision. St. Cloud calling a timeout with the score 17-9 Mankato State. 12:42 remaining in the first half, and we'll be. Thurston will bring it up. Rudolph, Thurston, Carlson, Springer, and Poole. Poole has it on the left side. Looking over on the right side to Carlson. Carlson now watched by Marks. Out to Springer, left of the circle. Springer has it. Zips the pass. Rudolph jumps it up. 14-footer. That time Kriener got a hand in his face. Attempted rebound by Springer. Dives out of bounds. Can't save it. It'll go to the Mavericks. One thing about Rudolph, as Coach Carroll mentioned on the pregame show, he doesn't get the ball way up over his head. It's kind of shoulder height.
Kind of shot puts it in a way,
yeah.
Casey, but he's deadly with it. First substitution for the Mavericks is Chris McMorris, player of the week last week in the NCC, comes off the bench. He replaces Conlon.
Dufault out front, Marks left side McMorris. McMorris loops it inside to Kriener. Kriener quickly to Lee underneath.
What a great pass by Freddie Lee, and the Mavericks scoring inside their biggest lead, 10 points.
That was a touch pass, if ever there was a touch pass. You hear us say that now, then sometimes, it's probably borderline, but that time it really was.
It was a Larry Bird-like.
Was that something? Carlson fights his way underneath, jumps up, puts it in, and he is fouled. It counts. Carlson gets his first two.
Carlson with a good job there, Casey, as he got inside and he got good position on Marks. Marks needed to try to front him there, and they had easy access to get him the ball, and he had position, and Marks fouling him. So Carlson comes off the bench with two, and we'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Foul on Marks is the Mavericks' third at the line. Carlson, and now Kramer is in the lineup for St. Cloud State. Stuart Kramer coming in for Springer. They're both about the same size. Carlson gets the free throw, so he makes a three-point play out of it. Full court pressure by the Huskies. Up to Kriener, to Lee. Lee down the right side with it. Oh, drops the ball. Faked left, went right with it, and faked himself out of position as he was ready to go by Binky Poole, so it's a turnover on Mankato State.
Something the Mavericks have had some problems with at times this year, the full court pressure. That time not handling it well. Freddie Lee turning it over.
19-12, Mankato State by 7. Kramer in the right corner out front. Rudolph, Kriener right on him, breaking through a tight pick again. In the lane to Poole, fakes once, and now he's triple teamed. Back out front, Thurston driving into the lane, back out to Poole. Poole on the left wing, Lee right on him. The Mavericks playing jump switching, and they're doing a very good job of it. Now Thurston out front, left side Poole. Poole looking, gets to Carlson, right of the circle. Marks was there, now to Rudolph. Rudolph in the lane, fake, doesn't shoot. Over on the right side, Thurston driving to the baseline, off the glass and good. Thurston scoring. And he has a total now of 7. 19-14, Mankato State is leading. Ball knocked away from behind by Dufault, then spun out of bounds by Carlson as he was fighting on the floor with it with Marks, and it'll go to Mankato State.
Boy,
That was a reach-in that time by Thurston.
Got away with it. It should have been a foul as Mankato State's Marty Dupont looked back at the official after it happened, and no call, and St. Cloud almost came up with another steal there. The Mavericks having a little trouble taking care of the basketball here in the last minute or so.
Eddie Tolliver in, Dean Pitcher in for Mankato State, so the Mavericks now with a much quicker lineup in than which they started the ball game. And Kriener will make the pass in. Does to Chris McMorris. McMorris bounce pass way out front to Lee. Lee has the ball knocked away by Thurston and it'll go out of bounds to Mankato State.
He's really applying a lot more pressure here, and it's bothering the Mavericks, and Mankato State just needs to settle down a little bit and get into their offense.
All right, now the pass goes to Tolliver. Tolliver being watched by Craig Kluge, who just entered the game. On the right side to McMorris. Both teams sticking with a man-to-man. There's McMorris driving to the lane, hooked away from behind by Carlson, picked up by Thurston. Thurston straight down the center, stops at the circle, passes on the right side. Kramer, a three-point attempt on the way, short. Rebound underneath Fred Lee. Freddie Lee coming down with it. Up ahead, Tolliver, long pass to Kriener. Kriener fakes left, drives right into the lane, hands it off to Pitcher. Pitcher going hard for the basket, puts it up, it doesn't go. McMorris down with the rebound. He is fouled by Kramer. Mavericks really, again, thrashing those offensive boards.
Well, I think they know they've got a decided advantage in that area, and they're really hammering at the boards. That time, McMorris drawing the fouls. He and Pitcher both going hard off Pitcher's missed shot. 19-14, the Mavericks leading by 5 with 10:16 to go in the first half.
Baseline left pass in coming up from Fred Lee. Gets it in the corner to McMorris. And off his hands and out of bounds.
Mavericks are really getting sloppy here, and it's driving Dan McCarroll crazy over there on the sideline, and they turned it over 3 or 4 times here in the last minute and a half.
Rudolph made that happen. He waved his hand in front of McMorris as the ball started to approach him. McMorris may have thought that he deflected it, but he didn't. Rudolph in the left corner, back up front. Thurston right side, it goes to Kramer. Kramer looking inside, still looking inside. Now to Carlson at the free throw circle. Down to Rudolph. The quick little jumper is up. That's no good, and the rebound is taken down by Kriener of Mankato State. Up ahead to Eddie Tolliver. Tolliver out front to now it goes around to McMorris. Down low to Kriener. Now to Pitcher at the free throw line. Now to Lee on the right wing. Out front, Tolliver. Inside McMorris. McMorris tries to loop one inside to Kriener. It's knocked away by Kramer and out of bounds to Mankato State.
Huskies playing much better defensively than they did opening up the ball game, and Mankato State's been stuck on 19 for about 2 minutes.
9:38 to play. Baseline right. Pass in coming up from Fred Lee. Gets it into McMorris. In to Pitcher and stepped in front by Carlson. He picks it up off to Thurston. Goaltending on McMorris as he knocks the ball away. It'll go to Thurston. Thurston laying it in. McMorris way up there to reject it, but nevertheless, it'll count.
The turnover against the Mavericks, the last 6 Husky points have resulted as of Mankato State turnovers. So the Husky defense is seeing their offense, and they're right back in the game after being down by 10.
Greg Kesty is in for Rudolph for St. Cloud State. For Mankato State, Chris Conlon is back in the ball game. Kriener looking, gets it into Conlon. Conlon double teamed immediately, but up ahead to McMorris. McMorris across the timeline, almost loses it, picks it up. Out front to Tolliver. Tolliver at the point, now on the left side to McMorris. McMorris looking inside. Kriener at the high post. Cross court, Conlon. Conlon on the dribble to the left side, to the wing with it. Stops, gives it back to Tolliver. 19-16, Mankato State by 3. 9:09 to play in the first half. Conlon out of the left corner with a three-point attempt. No good. Thurston way up in the air. Pull it down about 10 feet away from the basket. Now to Kluge. Kluge out front being watched by Tolliver. Left corner to Thurston. Thurston being watched by McMorris. Kramer, high post, goes to Kesty. Kesty back to Kramer. Kramer on the left side gives it to Thurston. Back out front, Kluge. Kluge. On the left side, Thurston is open. 17-footer on the way. That's no good. Rebound. Pitcher has it knocked away by Kesty, but Kesty steps on the line, dribbles it out of bounds, and Mankato State will have the basketball. Kriener will make the pass, and Harvey will come back in for St. Cloud State, and Carlson will go out. The Huskies hustling. And now they shift back. No pressure this time. Kluge picks up Tolliver as he comes across the timeline. Tolliver stops out front, gives it off to McMorris. McMorris has it out front, gets away from his man, and we have a whistle and a holding foul on Thurston. As McMorris spun away from him, Thurston grabbed him. Number 1 on Thurston, and that's only the 4th on the Huskies. The Mavericks have only 3 team fouls. Poole back in the lineup now for St. Cloud State. Pass in goes to Tolliver. Tolliver at the point, looking, gives it to Chris McMorris on the wing. Now to Conlon in the lane. Bounce pass, Pitcher, 14-footer on the way, drills it. 21-16, the Mavericks finally getting off that 19.
That's the shot they got to try to get to Dean Pitcher, that little 10, 12-footer.
Kluge drives right down the lane. Nobody picked him up. No help defense that time, and he gets it. Just dropped it in. 21-18. He takes the ball away from Tolliver out front. Kluge driving in. Lays it up again and gets it. The Mavericks really getting some sloppy ball handling here. 21-20. Bounce pass left side, Conlon. Now Kriener out front. Kriener left of the circle. Hands it off to Tolliver, right of the circle. Now to Chris McMorris. Inside Conlon. Little 10-footer on the right side. No good. Rebound picked up by Kramer. Up ahead to Kluge. Kluge at the point. Stops down the lane. They're going to have a foul on Tolliver. That was a tripping foul, but Tolliver, that was not intentional by any means. Kluge tripped over his foot. Goes down. Tolliver will get the call. His first, 21-20, Mankato State leading by 1. It'll be a baseline right pass in coming up from Kluge for St. Cloud State. Marks back in the lineup, and Dufault back in the lineup for the Mavericks. Lobbing it inside to Kesty. Kesty has to go back outside, though, to Harvey, way out on the right wing with it. Hands it off to Kluge. 21-20, 7:16 to play first half. Mavericks lead it by 1. Left side, Kesty looking inside. High post to Harvey. On the right side, goes to Kluge. Faith doesn't shoot. Now to Poole. Poole out front, back to Kluge. Kluge on the dribble. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. Kluge out front, left side. Kramer sidearms one inside to Kesty. He kind of runs around in there, puts one up, then Harvey gets the rebound and scores. And the Huskies take the lead, 22-21.
Mavericks have lost a 10-point lead and now trail.
There's Chris McMorris, a quick jumper from 15, no good, and the rebound is down to Kesty of St. Cloud State. The Mavericks are decidedly playing down to the level of the Huskies. Offensive foul on Kluge as Dufault has become an expert at taking that charge. Kluge with the foul. 21-22, Mavericks trail by 1. Pitcher right back in, Lee back in, and we're going to have a timeout called. 22-21, St. Cloud State leading by 1. 6:29 to play first half. We'll be back in 1 minute. 22-21, Mankato State trailing by 1. The Mavericks have the basketball as Dufault brings it up, being watched by Kluge. Goes to the right side to Fred Lee. Now to Pitcher out front, left side Conlon. Conlon on the wing, looking inside. Now to Dufault, left corner, loops it inside to Marks. Marks up, and good.
Marks with 3 people hanging all over his film. Delivered, and he's got 10. Casey and the Mavericks have the lead.
That was all Nate Marks that time. You're right. There were 3 people literally hanging on his frame. Poole, left corner, 2-point attempt. In and out, no good. Rebound, Marks. Marks, I don't know. There's a world of difference between the way he plays here and on the road. He is an all-league player here. On the left side, Conlon. Fake, doesn't shoot. Goes into the lane. Pull-up jumper on the way. Short. Rebound pulled down by Kramer. Conlon with a good move, but it wouldn't go as he came up short in the shot. 23-22, Kluge out front with it. Kluge is not a pretty type player by any means, but he gets the job done for St. Cloud State with sheer hustle. As the pass inside knocked away out of bounds, it'll go to the Huskies. Kluge has actually brought some spark to them since he came into this lineup. Baseline right pass in coming up for St. Cloud. Gets it into Poole. Poole, a jumper on the right wing. Good from about 14 feet. Poole scoring. I think that was it. Yes, it was his first basket. Fred Lee is double teamed, but he gets it up to Pitcher. Pitcher out front, back to Lee. 24-23, St. Cloud State leading underneath. The pitcher goes up. He gets hammered, and the ball is thrown awry as it's picked up by Conlon, as the Huskies didn't take care of it that time after getting the rebound. Conlon, 3-pointer on the way, right through. From the right wing, Chris Conlon scoring his second 3 of the night for Mankato State. 26-24, the Mavericks by 2. Rudolph and Springer are going to come back in for St. Cloud momentarily. Kramer underneath the Kesty, fakes left, goes right, then is double teamed. Out front it goes to Kluge. Kluge being watched by Dufault, right side to Kesty underneath. Kramer on the right block, comes back out of the dribble to the right wing with it. Now Kluge on the wing on the right side, bounce pass to Harvey. Harvey on the right wing. Harvey driving to the lane, gets down the lane, passes out front though to Kluge. Kluge stops, hands it off. Kesty will try a long one, about an 18-footer, no good, and Conlon down with the rebound for Mankato State. 26-24, 4:06 to play, first half. On the right side, Fred Lee is open. 18-footer, high off the rim, no good. Rebound taken down by Kesty. Kesty's played pretty well while he's been in there, too, for the Huskies. They seem to get exceptional performances out of all their players when they play us. All right, Kluge down the lane. He runs over Dufault, and they're going to call Dufault with a blocking foul.
Kluge guided Dufault out of the way with his left arm and got away with it, and call's going to go against the Mavericks, so it'll be the 15th foul for Mankato State, and St. Cloud will inbound the ball.
I saw a high school game last night, and I was really shocked at how much more proficient those high school referees were at calling player control fouls. They were really right on it. Binky Poole from outside, three-pointer in and out. That was halfway down, and Dufault down with the rebound. Up ahead to Fred Lee. He almost stepped out of bounds, and Fred gets underneath off the glass. It won't go for him. Loose ball in the corner, saved by Conlon. Conlon out front to Dufault. Good effort by Conlon. Right side, Fred Lee. Lee to Conlon. Conlon has it. On the left side, Dufault. Dufault looking inside. Pitcher, left wing, loops it up to Marks. Marks feeds right side. Conlon misses an easy layup. Mavericks had it set up perfectly. Bounce pass to Harvey. Knocked away, picked up by Dufault. Dufault, 2-on-1 break with Marks. He stops, feeds to Marks. He goes in, lays it in.
Right time to give it over to Marks, and the Mavericks go up by 4.
Perfect play. You never see Marks miss anything short. He just...
Pretty automatic.
Yeah. He's got the touch. 28-24. Mavericks lead it. Rudolph, right side, Springer. Fakes, doesn't shoot. Left side. There's Harvey from way outside for a 3. That's the unorthodox part of this St. Cloud offense. Harvey playing in the post, goes outside and shoots three-pointers, but that's what you have to put up with. Pitcher, there he is from outside. He is not good. From 17, rebound right into the hands of Poole down the right side. Poole, little stop and go, driving down the lane, gets inside, lays it up, it doesn't go, and he is fouled on the way to the basket. Might be Dufault, too, or it might have been Pitcher. We'll see.
I think it was Pitcher.
I think it was. That's his first. 28-27, the Mavericks by 1. 2:17 to play in the first half. So far, it's been a typical St. Cloud Mankato State game. Neither team getting the upper hand. And certainly, I wouldn't call it an artistic success either.
Sure hasn't been. The Mavericks started out very well, getting out to a 19-9 lead, but since that time, it's been all St. Cloud as the Huskies just trailed by 1, and Binky Poole at the line with a 2-shot opportunity.
All right, 28-27 as Poole puts it up and ties the score for St. Cloud. They'll get another. Binky Poole. Second shot on the way, and that's good.
A couple of scores, Casey. Up in Grand Forks, it's North Dakota 47, Northern Colorado 30, so a 17-point lead for the Sioux, and then North Dakota State 32, Nebraska, Omaha 15 at the half. Omaha with just 15 points at the half.
Wow. 29-28, Kriener taking the pass in the left corner. Oliver back in from Mankato State, comes outside at the point. Left side, Kriener on the wing, way out. Kriener one dribble, looks inside, gives it to Fred Lee. Baseline jumper, short. Fred wide open from about 16, and he just can't get anything to drop tonight.
But he's having his first half woes here tonight, not on the scoreboard yet.
1:49 to play, first half. Binky Poole and Thurston. Whoops, that was Thurston. Sorry, Binky went to the bench. On the right side, Carlson walks with the basketball as he tries to get around Mark. So the Huskies are giving the Mavericks all they can handle so far. 29-28, St. Cloud State by 1. 1:42 to play in the first half. Here comes Tolliver being watched by Kluge. Kluge knocks it away, but this time he got caught as he reached in and committed the foul. Number 2 on Kluge. 29-28, the Mavericks trail by 1 as Kriener will make the pass in on the sideline just below us. 1:35 to play, first half. Tolliver quickly inside to Marks. Marks was open, jumps it up. He doesn't get it from 10 feet. It looked like he was looking for someone to pass to. He didn't realize that no one was on his backside. Jumped it up, didn't get it, and was knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Mankato State. Lee makes the pass underneath to Kriener. Kriener goes back up, and they say he walked with it.
So another Maverick turnover, and St. Cloud will have the ball with a 1-point lead. 1:25 remaining in the half. Binky Poole will come in the ball game for Kluge.
Kluge goes out. Poole and Thurston now to guards. Carlson, Springer, and Rudolph also back in for St. Cloud State. 29-28 as Thurston brings it up. 1:20 to play, first half. Thurston spinning down the lane. Jumps, passes over to the left side to Carlson, back out front to Thurston. Tolliver staying right with him. Thurston on the right side to Springer. Underneath, it goes to Carlson. Carlson works in and drops it in from the right block. 31-28. Tolliver spins away from Thurston to the right side to Chris McMorris. McMorris has it, and that should be a foul against Springer. And it is.
That'll draw the bonus. That's the 17th foul against St. Cloud. Chris McMorris will go to the line with him for the Mavericks. The Mavericks trailing by 3, 31-28. 55 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Chris McMorris at the line, 6'1", senior out of Omaha. NCC Player of the Week last week. Shot by McMorris is up and rolls in. Hit the front of the rim, bounced off the glass, and dropped through.
First free throw of the night for the Mavericks.
31-29. Mavericks trail by 2. Second shot by McMorris. That bounces off on the right side, and the rebound to Rudolph. So McMorris gets 1 of 2. 31-29. Thurston out front with the basketball. Hands it off to Poole. Poole on the dribble, left of the circle to Springer. Springer on the right side now to Thurston. Thurston backing way up, almost at midcourt. Being watched by Tolliver. Hands it off to Poole. 24 seconds left on the shot clock. 31 on the game clock for the first half. Springer hands it off to Thurston. Thurston, again, way out to midcourt with it. Setting up the high post. And then just playing a little weave out front of that. Thurston on the left side. Feeds underneath the Springer. It's hacked away by McMorris. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Springer. McMorris with those quick hands again. 31-29. Mavericks trail by 2, but they have a chance here to tie it up or maybe go ahead with a three-pointer with 11 seconds to play in the first half. Tolliver coming up against Thurston. 7 seconds. In the corner to McMorris. Out front, Tolliver. He's open for a 3. It's on the way. High off the rim. No good. Rebound to Rudolph. And he fires one the length of the court. Doesn't go. 31-29. St. Cloud State leading at the half. And we'll be back in 2 minutes. Thurston, Poole, Rudolph, Harvey, and Kramer starting the second half for St. Cloud State. For the Mavericks, Lee, Dufault, Kriener. There's Rudolph from outside, 16-footer, no good. And the rebound to Kramer. And back out front it goes to Thurston to start it all over again. Lee, Conlon, Dufault, Kriener, and Mark starting the second half for Mankato State. Same team that started the basketball game. The only change in is St. Cloud's Kramer. There's a rebound by Fred Lee on the miss by Harvey. Up ahead it goes to Dufault. Dufault out front, Lee on the right side. Conlon driving to the baseline, doesn't shoot. To Mark's high post, right side out front to Kriener. Stops. Looks back to the left and gives it to Fred Lee, being watched by Binky Poole. Dufault out front, top of the circle, now to Kriener. 31-29. 19 minutes remaining in the ball game. Mavericks trail by 2. Fred Lee on the right corner being watched by Thurston. Takes left, goes right, hands underneath to Marks, and he lays it in. Marks with 14.
On the play as he drove the baseline, dished it off to Marks.
Binky Poole for 3 from the right corner. Here's Dufault, 34-31. Mavericks trail by 3. Conlon into the lane, jumper on the way from 15, no good. Battled around, picked up by Poole finally. Poole coming out of there on the dribble. Goes to the right side with it. Tries to get down the lane, passes out front. And we have a whistle and a foul. Might be on Fred Lee.
It will be Freddie drawing the foul. First foul of the second half on the Mavericks. 18:20 to go. St. Cloud leading 34-31.
Number 1 on Fred Lee. Thurston will make the pass, and he does to Poole. There's another three-point attempt on the way. That one is short. And Dufault outfights Thurston for the rebound. The ball bounced high, came out on the court, and they both went for it. There's Conlon for 3 from outside. That's no good. Marks with the rebound, backs on out of there. Out front, Dufault. Dufault looking inside, gives it to Kriener on the right wing. Now to Fred Lee. He's open, top of the circle, short, and tapped around. Finally picked up by Poole. Poole racing out of there on the dribble. Stops after he gets across midcourt and gives it to Thurston. 34-31. Mavericks trail by 3. 17:47 to play. Rudolph, high post. Kramer driving into the lane. 13-footer on the way. He's no good with that one. Tipped out of bounds to St. Cloud State. Thurston will make the pass in. Referee Mike Nevin tying his shoe. Momentary lull. There we go. Baseline right pass in coming up from Thurston. Gives it to Rudolph. Shoots it behind the glass. In and out, no good. And Marks down with yet another rebound. His 7th unofficially. All right, this is Dufault. On the left side to Fred Lee. And it goes right by Fred. The bounce pass didn't bounce. Skimmed right by him. And Conlon will come out. And Chris McMorris will come in from Mankato State. Thurston will bring it up 34-31. 17:22 to play in the ball game. Binky Poole out front. High post Rudolph. Rudolph, 17-footer. That's no good. Rebound, Dufault. Dufault with 5 rebounds tonight. Dufault, high post to Kriener. Kriener hands it off to Dufault. Dufault backs up. Now to Chris McMorris on the right wing. Now to Marks. Top of the circle, left side, Fred Lee. Freddie has it, goes to the right side on the dribble. Stops there. Back out front, Chris McMorris. McMorris to Lee. Now to Marks. Dufault left wing. Out front, Kriener. Doesn't shoot. Back to Dufault. Back to McMorris. Back to Dufault in the left corner. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Down low to Kriener. Working hard. Going to the baseline. Laying it up. It doesn't go. And the rebound is taken down by Harvey. The Mavericks. There is Thurston driving all the way. That's short, and the rebound to Marks. Marks with his 8th rebound. McMorris coming down the left side with it. Stops on the left wing. Gets it to Kriener, back to McMorris. He's open, a three-pointer on the way. Rolls, doesn't go. Freddie Lee getting inside position, and Thurston getting the loose ball and dropping it out of bounds, and it'll go to Mankato State.
Well, we've played almost 4 minutes here, and the Mavericks with just one basket on a Marks basket on the assist from Freddie Lee, and Mankato State really having their problems offensively.
Inside to Marks, going inside and drops it in.
Looks like that's the guy they're going to have to go to. Nate Marks with 16 and draws the Mavericks within 1.
And Dufault gets the ball away from Poole, but apparently he reached in, and on Dufault, that's going to be number 3. He's been doing a good job on Poole. Thurston will make the pass in. 34-33, Mankato State trailing by 1. Thurston looking, and Kriener intercepts, knocks it away out of bounds, goes to St. Cloud State. 34-33, 16:02 to play. The Mavericks trail by 1. Thurston looking, gets it into the right corner to Poole. Poole flips it over his head to Rudolph. Back to Poole on the right side jumper. That's short. Kriener with a rebound for Mankato State. Dufault bringing it up. Goes to the right side to Chris McMorris. McMorris looking inside. Now gives it to Kriener, top of the circle. Left side to Fred Lee. Now to Chris McMorris, top of the circle, and the right side Dufault on the wing. Now to Kriener. Kriener in the side, the circle, now to Lee. Lee on the left wing, now to Marks, top of the circle, now to Dufault. To McMorris. McMorris fakes left, goes right off the glass and good.
Casey, I can kind of feel a Maverick run coming on here. They've hit 2 in a row, and Chris McMorris off the bench giving him a little spark here.
Poole on the left side to Rudolph. Rudolph way out. 3-point range there. Now to Kramer. Kramer also behind the line. Harvey had a 1 foot on the line. Jumps it up. No good. Tipped out of there. Bounced around inside. Picked up. Off on the right side. Rudolph driving for the basket and puts it up and in. Well, the ball just couldn't be picked up by anyone. And finally, Rudolph took the pass from Harvey and put it up and in. Rudolph scoring. Fred Lee on the left wing to Kriener. Kriener fakes left, goes right off the glass and good. Maybe that'll get Rich on track tonight. He's been getting himself open again, but kind of going back to what happened in the early part of the season. 37-36, Mankato State by 1. Rudolph, left wing, holds the basketball. Out front, Kramer. Kramer being watched by McMorris, goes behind a pick. Kramer still watched by McMorris as he wouldn't let him get away. Now out front to Thurston. Thurston backs up on the dribble. 14-17 to play in the ball game. 37-36, Mankato State by 1. St. Cloud State using that clock. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Kramer feeds over in the right corner. Saved by Binky Poole. Poole on the dribble. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Poole feeds on the left side to Harvey. 18-footer up. No good. Rebound. McMorris keeps it alive. And Marks comes up with it. 37-36, Mankato State. So Kriener inside has it knocked away from behind by Rudolph. Picked up by Poole out front. Poole takes right, goes left, runs right over Dufault, and that is an offensive foul.
Boy, Monty taking a big risk, but he got there in time to get the position. Because if they go the other way on the block, it's 4 fouls on Dufault, but he got there first. Good call by the officials, and the charge is called on Poole, and Mavericks will have the ball.
37-36, Dean Pitcher in, Kriener out for the Mavericks. Kriener with 5 rebounds on the night, Marks with 9. The Mavericks pretty much controlling the boards in that first half. Still are. 37-36. Dufault out front. Lee. Now to Pitcher. Pitcher top of the circle. 13:30 to play. Lee down low to McMorris. Fakes left. Doesn't shoot. Out to Lee on the left wing. Lee still has not scored tonight. Bounce pass to McMorris in the circle. The jumper on the way. Short. Pitcher tries to keep it alive, bouncing around. Rudolph coming up with it. Off to Kluge. Kluge back in the lineup for St. Cloud State. Springer out of the corner. The jumper is in and out. No good. Pitcher, the rebound. He is fouled by Harvey. Pitcher with the rebound. Harvey over the back. That's Mark's first foul, I believe. Yes, it is. Second. No, that's first. All right, 37-36. Tolliver in the lineup for Mankato State. Lee out. Mark stays in. McMorris stays in. Dufault stays in. And Pitcher stays in for Mankato State. Carlson, Springer, and Kluge back in for St. Cloud State. Down low to Pitcher on the left block. Turnaround jumper's up and good. There it is again. Within seconds of coming in, Pitcher scored.
And I think the Mavericks really have to concentrate on looking inside the Pitcher and Marks now for the rest of the ball game, because the shots are there and they've got their men outsized underneath. So
yep,
the Mavericks have got to concentrate on that.
There we have a walking violation on Carlson. He couldn't move the big truck, Nate Marks, and he moved that pivot foot instead. He ran into a roadblock with Marks, couldn't get around him. So it's a turnover on Carlson. Pitcher out front. Now to Chris McMorris. Oh, Chris had a shot there, and he didn't take it. Tolliver pulls up, takes the 14-footer, no good. Kept alive underneath. The rebound is picked up by Rudolph, and the foul is on Pitcher.
Not good shot selection by Eddie Tolliver there, trying a running shot as he's going sideways at about the free throw line, but he really didn't have himself squared up well, and shot it flat, and the rebound, the foul goes against Mankato State's Dean Pitcher, so 13th foul against the Mavericks here in the second half. 39-36, the Mavericks lead by 3, 12-19 to go in the game.
Second foul on Pitcher as Springer has it out front. Now to Thurston, 17-footer on the way. That's no good, and Marks down with yet another rebound, his 10th. 39-36. There's Dufault going into the lane. He puts it up. It goes! Dufault hung there and was just waiting for somebody to hack him, and finally they did, and a timeout called by St. Cloud State.
So 15 South 2nd Street, Mankato.
Dufault at the line, hits the free throw. So he gets that three-point play out of it. 42-36. Mankato State leading. Kluge, Springer, Kluge, right side Thurston. Thurston being watched by Tolliver. Rudolph, pitcher all over him. Left side Kluge in the corner, deep in the corner. Dufault on him now. Thurston out front with it. Mankato State staying in that man-to-man. This little quicker lineup here, I think, is bothering him. Underneath the Springer. Springer lays it up and in on the left side. Finally, they got him isolated. Springer's first basket. Dufault right side, Tolliver. Tolliver out front, pitcher left side to McMorris. McMorris has it. Now to Dufault in the left corner, underneath the Marks. Marks fakes once, goes up, lays it in.
That play is there all day. If Marks can get the defender on his hip like that, there's no way they can stop it. A good inside feed by Dufault. Marks getting the two. Mavericks back up by 6.
Thurston inside, Springer. McMorris does a good job of not letting him get around him. Back out front, Rudolph. Left side, Kluge. Inside, Carlson, but he's going to have to go back outside with it to Rudolph. Now to Thurston on the right wing. 44-38, Mankato State leading, 10:49 to play. Mavericks much more aggressive in the second half, especially defensively. Kluge out front, right side Springer. Springer looks in, gives it to Thurston. Thurston gets free, has the ball knocked away though. McMorris trying to save it. Loose ball picked up in the backcourt by Springer. Spectacular, but nothing happened. Kluge on the right side. Thurston being watched by Tolliver. Rudolph, pitcher, just practically shadowing him wherever he goes. Inside Carlson, we have a foul on Mankato State team pitcher. I believe, or is he going to go against Marks, maybe?
Marks. They could have maybe even called that on Eddie Tolliver.
Yeah, they could have.
He doubled down, and it's going to go against Marks. His second 14 foul for the Mavericks here in the second half. St. Cloud State with 3 team fouls. 10:21 remaining in the game. Mavericks up by 6.
Baseline left pass in goes to Springer. Springer on the left block. Gets it to Poole. Poole will try a three-pointer, and he hits it. Just what we didn't need, but what St. Cloud did need. 44-41. Mankato State by 3. Tolliver on the right wing being watched by Poole. Pitcher in the circle, loops it underneath the Marks. Marks can't get a hold of it. Pitcher recovers it. Off to Dufault. Hesitates, jumps it up. Marks the rebound. Positions himself and drops it in. Well, they just can't fudge him. 46-41. If Nate can start doing this on the road, we're going to win the championship. That's all there is to it. Kluge goes to the right baseline, jumps it up, it rolls, doesn't go. Pitcher with the rebound for Mankato State. Up ahead quickly to McMorris, out front Tolliver. Tolliver left side Dufault, fakes, doesn't. Now he goes into the lane, jumps it up from 14 and gets it. Boy, he's playing tough basketball. Monty just gets better all the time.
Mavericks up by 7 here, 9:15 to go. Freddie Lee and Rich Preener at the scorer's table ready to check in.
Kluge to Carlson, left of the lane, tries to get in on Marks. He can't do it. Over to Poole in the left corner. Out front, Harvey. Pitcher's right on him. To Springer. Springer fakes left, goes right, can't get by McMorris. Flips it over to Poole. Poole walks with it. He jumps up and then he drives in the lane and gets it. That's a terrible call. Non-call. Everybody in the place saw it. On top of that, he gets a basket out of it. 48-43. McMorris gets away. Three-pointer on the way. Yes! Boy, nobody gets more arc on the ball than he does.
Oh, he's got a beautiful shot. When he's got it cooking, Casey, when he has his confidence and has his rhythm, Chris is tough to stop.
51-43. 8-point lead for Mankato State. Second biggest of the ball game. Poole on the right wing. Tolliver won't let him by. Kluge left side. Mavericks sticking completely with that man-to-man all night long.
Casey, Coach McCarroll has Freddie Lee at the bench to get him on Poole because Bickey's starting to look offensively. And they need their good defender, Freddie Lee, on him.
And he'll be coming in along with Preener here in the next pause. 51-43. 8:03 to play in the ball game. Springer from outside. 18-footer is good. Right of the circle, Scott Springer. 51-45, Mankato State leading. Dufault left side, McMorris. Watched by Springer. McMorris out front. Pitcher at the free throw line. Back to McMorris on the left wing. Down low to Marks in the lane. Fakes, and he is hacked by Harvey. So the big truck will go to the line. No, not yet. That was not a shooting foul.
14 foul on.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to give Nathan Marks a rest for the stretch run. Kriener coming in, and also Freddie Lee as he replaces Eddie Tolliver. So the Mavericks making a couple substitutions. They're up by 6, 51-45. St. Cloud just hanging in there.
Baseline left pass in goes to McMorris from Fred Lee, as Chris said, just re-entering the ball game. Dufault out front. Left side goes to McMorris. Now back to Dufault. Over to Fred Lee on the right wing. Now to Kriener. Kriener in the right corner. Back to Fred Lee on the wing. Now to Dufault. Left side McMorris. Open for three on the way. Yes!
McMorris is warming it up, and the Mavericks can really use it.
Well, I'd say I don't know anybody who's in the last 4 or 5 games who's made more clutch shots than Chris McMorris. There's Poole. Has it knocked away by Dufault. His 4th steal of the game. He picks it up. Goes down the left side with it. And hands it off to McMorris. 54-45. Mavericks by 9. Looping it underneath the Kriener. Inside jumper off the glass. Good!
Mavericks making a run. They're up 11.
56-45. 6:52 to play. Butch Raymond wants a timeout for St. Cloud State. 56-45. 11-point lead for Mankato State. And we'll be back in
Colorado 42. And with 12 minutes to go, North Dakota State up by 10, 38-28 over at Nebraska-Omaha.
So UNO coming back a little bit there. Springer outside, left side Poole, Fred Lee on him. And pitcher getting a little over-exuberant, reaching in on Greg Kesty at the top of the circle.
It'll be the 5th team foul for Mankato State, so St. Cloud inches a little closer to the bonus. 6:36 remaining, the Mavericks up by 11.
Baseline right pass in coming up from Thurston. Underneath Springer, nobody there. They isolated him somehow. I don't know. He got away. Maybe Chris McMorris got picked off. I didn't see exactly what happened, but he was wide open, and he gets the basket. Springer has 6. 56-47. Fred Lee out front, hands it off to McMorris, back to Lee. 56-47, 6:16 to play. Dufault. Left side McMorris. Back to Dufault. Out front, Lee. Right corner, pitcher. Pitcher back out to Dufault. St. Cloud State in a 3-2 zone with Springer at the point. Now to McMorris. McMorris to pitcher. Pitcher back out front. Dufault gets his man up in the air. 17-footer on the way short. Rebound in the corner. Picked up by Kesty. Up to Thurston. Thurston driving down. Has a pass deflected by Dufault. Saved by Dufault. And pitcher. And then a foul on Kesty.
Great hustle by Dufault there. Great play. It may be a play we look back to and say, hey, that was big in this game, as St. Cloud coming down, getting us inside double digits to 9, and Dufault with a fantastic steal and save, getting it back to pitcher, and then a foul on Kesty.
Wow. Kesty, by the way, that's his first. Dufault slows it up, takes time off the clock, 5:34 to play. 56-47, Mankato State leading. Fred Lee out front. Fred's been shut out tonight offensively, but he's played well anyway. Bounce pass underneath from pitcher to Kriener, back out front to Dufault. Jumper, no. Rebound, battled around. Pitcher in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound is taken out of there by Thurston. Thurston racing down, stops, gives it to Poole. Lee right back on him. Well, the Mavericks have missed a couple of good opportunities now to add to that lead, and they've come up empty-handed the last 2 times down the floor. Springer. McMorris knocks it away from him from behind. Picked up ahead to Dufault. Now to Lee. Lee feeds underneath to Kriener, going hard for the basket, and he is fouled as he moves to the basket by Harvey. I think Springer got killed off the other end.
Butch Raymond was ranting and raving over on the sideline, asking for a foul. No call. Mavericks come up with a steal, and quickly Nate Marks is going to come back in the game as Coach McCarroll wants some more strength under the basket. Dean Pitcher will check out. And Rich Kriener will be at the line for the Mavericks, and I believe he'll be shooting too. The Mavericks up by 9, 56-47 with 4:54 to go in the ballgame.
Rich unofficially with 6 points tonight. Well, that's official enough. We know that. 6 rebounds. That might be unofficial. And he is at the line. Done a good job defensively on Rudall when he's been in there. And misses a first free throw. Rudall has been sort of a non-entity since the opening moments. He has a total of 6 points, but Kriener has just done the job on him. In fact, they aren't using him at the moment. Second shot is good by Kriener. 57-47, 10-point lead for Mankato State. 4:50 to play. As Thurston has it way out front, being watched by Dufault on the right side. Kesty bounce pass to Binky Poole. They're doing everything they can to get him open for a three, and he does get open and puts it in. Binky Poole, that's his third three-pointer of the ball game, and it's 57-50. 7-point lead for Mankato State. Dufault out front, backs up on the dribble, gives it to Freddie Lee on the right wing. 4:20 to play. Mavericks really trying to spread that defense. High post Kriener. Dufault left side to Dufault on the dribble. Now comes to the point on the dribble. St. Cloud staying with that 3-2 zone. On the right side to McMorris. McMorris loops it to Kriener, back to Dufault. Kriener at the circle. Now in the right corner to McMorris. Three-pointer on the way. On the rim, no good. Rebound to Kriener. Big rebound. The clock starts over. They can take another 40 seconds off the clock before they shoot again if they want. Kriener out front. Dufault.
The one thing about St. Cloud being, Casey, in that zone, the Mavericks can really take time off the clock because there's really no pressure on the ball.
Not at all. Kriener, bounce pass on the right side to Fred Lee. Baseline jumper on the way. Skims it, no good. McMorris saves it into the hands of Marks. They're scrambling for it underneath. And we'll have a jump that'll go to Mankato State. So the Mavericks get the ball back again. Downward. Well, maybe that wasn't even up for what they did to Springer on the other end. I don't know. That was pretty sad.
Poor Marks has got the ball under there, and he's being attacked from the behind, and they call traveling. I thought it was going to be a jump ball, but traveling the call.
I think one official did call it a jump.
Yep, they did.
All right, there is Thurston going down. He in and out, no good with a jumper. Fred Lee with a big rebound for Mankato State. Comes out of there on the dribble. Stops in the left wing. Jumper on the way. 18-footer good. Oh, good shot by Fred Lee. Well, he waited a long time. Almost 37 minutes, but that was one of the bigger shots of the night. 59-50. Mavericks by 9. Fred just took his time very calmly. Jumped that one through. Thurston on the right wing. Freddie got the rebound, got the basket. There's a jumper out front. Rudolph for 2.
St. Cloud just keeps hanging in there.
59-52, 7-point lead for Mankato State. As Dufault comes up with it, being watched by Thurston. He spins away from Thurston. Thurston reaches in, knocks it away from behind. Poole picks it up. Poole trying to drive in, does drive in, loses the basketball. McMorris tries to save it, and it goes out of bounds to St. Cloud State. Kriener wants a timeout for the Mavericks. 59-52, 7-point lead for Mankato State. 2:29 to play. We'll be back in 1 minute. Looking, gets it into Rudolph, shooting out of the corner. Off the top of the rim, no good. Rebound down to Kriener. Unofficially his eighth. Hands it off to Dufault. Dufault double team, but he gets across the line to Fred Lee on the left wing. 2:18 to play. 59-52. McMorris out front to Kriener. Kriener hands off to Dufault. Dufault. Thurston reaching in on him again. Thurston has very quick hands, but Dufault has more steals than Thurston tonight. Kriener out front, and there's a holding violation on Rudolph.
That'll be the 16th foul, so both teams with 16 fouls, so the next foul we have will go to the bonus. I'll make that the 7th. I'm sorry, Case. That is the 7th, so Kriener will go to the line. Miscounted there.
Kluge's going to come in here momentarily.
Big 1-and-1 here as the Mavericks can hit their foul shots. They'll win this ball game.
Kriener at the line. The shot is up and rolls and doesn't go. The rebound is taken down by Rudolph for St. Cloud State. Out front, Thurston being watched by Dufault. 1:51 to play. Rudolph to Poole. They'll try and get that three-pointer off. The skims the rim. No good. Tipped up once by Springer. Loose ball. Saved in the corner by Dufault, but right in the hands of Poole. Poole down the lane with it. Throws one up. Runs over McMorris. Tipped up. No good. Tipped up again and tipped in by Rudolph. And Rudolph calls a timeout. No, he doesn't call a timeout. Sorry about that. Up ahead to Dufault. 59-54. 1:29 to play. Dufault stops in the left wing. Comes out of there. Gives it to Fred Lee. They want to keep it in the hands of Lee as long as they can, so if they're going to foul someone, they have to foul Fred Lee. And they get to Kriener again. Rich, not one of the better free throwers on the team, and Rudolph knew exactly what to do. Fouled him immediately.
something Mankato State's got to concentrate on. They've got to keep their post players inside and let the three perimeter players, Lee, Dufault, and McMorris, handle the ball. They're good free throw shooters, but again, St. Cloud very smart in making the foul on Kriener, who's not as good a free throw shooter as Fred Lee or Monty Dufault would be. So good strategy by the Huskies. They're down 5, 59-54, and Rich Kriener again at the line for a 1-and-1.
Kriener at the line. Takes a deep breath, eyes the basket, shots on the way. Good.
Big one. Real big one.
You can say that again. Go ahead.
Real big one, too. Mavericks back up by 6, and with the way the three-pointers can draw a team back in the game, they need every point they can get down the stretch.
Here's the next one. That looks good. It is right down the pipe. So Rich Kriener with two huge free throws there and a timeout called by Mankato State. 61-54, 1:18 to play. You're listening to Maverick Basketball on 93 KXLP, New Ulm, Mankato. Thurston as St. Cloud State comes up court with it. Chris has some more scores, but we'll wait on that just a minute. See what happens here. High post, Harvey. Loops it over to Poole. They want to get him loose for that three-pointer if they can. Thurston out front will take the three-pointer. Short. Rebound tipped out of there off the hands of Harvey right into Kluge. Kluge drives all the way with it, but he walks. 1 minute. 1 minute exactly. Well, if the Mavericks get something this time, or if they take off enough time, I think they can pull this one out. Kriener looking. He better call a timeout. He does. He just barely got that one off. Because you know what happens when the official gets the 4 basket. And the Mavericks release Marks, and they get it to Dufault. Good choice, Dufault. Down the right side, we have a whistle. And a foul on St. Cloud State to
be a 1-and-1 for Mankato State. Only 2 seconds off the clock, so we're down to 58 seconds. 61-54. Mankato State up 7, and Monty Dufault will be at the line, and Monty's just played an excellent floor game for Mankato State. He and Nathan Marks and Chris McMorris probably are leading candidates for Wells Federal Player of the Game tonight.
And then Dufault misses a free throw after the foul by Harvey, by the way. 49 seconds to play, 61-54. From outside, Thurston drills a three, and St. Cloud State calling another timeout again. Thurston scoring from outside for his second three-pointer. 61-57, Mankato State. And they're looking for a lead. Now they get it up ahead to Marks, and he can't hold it. Fired it right by him. Off to Thurston. Thurston feeding over left side to Poole. A jumper on the way. This is a three-point attempt. Harvey with the rebound on the other side. And now it's Thurston. Thurston just throws one up. That's an air ball and a foul on Rudolph underneath, and he knew it. Kriener had position and came down with the ball, and Rudolph knew immediately. But that's all right. He made the foul immediately, quickly as possible, and there are still 31 seconds remaining on the clock. And if Kriener can't get these two to go down, St. Cloud will come back down here and have a chance again to get close.
Sure will. And the Mavericks again panicking under the pressure, throwing the ball away, but luckily coming up with a rebound is a wild three-pointer thrown up by Thurston, and Kriener will go to the line.
Kriener at the line. The shot is on the way. It looks good. It is. Boy, Kriener's been dead center with his last three. Rich now with a total of 10 points on the night, 9 rebounds. He's played a solid game. He had a few problems getting 3 or 4 shots to go in the first half, but other than that, he's played a very solid game. Second shot on the way. Looks good. No, that one's high off the rim, and it's rebounded by Harvey. The free throw, nevertheless, was big because it gives the Mavericks a 5-point lead. Kluge throws it over the head of Poole on the right wing. So the Mavericks get it back with 21 seconds to play. And that was a big mistake by St. Cloud State.
St. Cloud State was so intent on trying to get the ball to Binky Poole. It's a bad pass by Kluge, and Mavericks get it on the turnover with 21 seconds.
Get it into Chris McMorris. It was knocked away from McMorris. Saved by Dufault. Back to McMorris. Over to Marks. Marks zips the pass to Fred Lee on the left wing. And Lee just wisely slows it down. And then Dufault is fouled by Kluge.
That'll do it. 10 seconds to go. The Mavericks up by 5. And it's been a tough one for Mankato State tonight. St. Cloud's come in here and really fought hard and extended the Mavericks to the limit. A lot of pressure, and Mankato State's weathered it. Looks like they'll go on to their 5th conference victory and 11th victory overall.
There's just no rhyme or reason to this league at all. Mankato State buries Northern Colorado. Then and Northern Colorado goes up and kills St. Cloud. St. Cloud does not play well against a number of other teams, and they come into the Mavericks' lair here as Dufals misses the second free throw after he made the first, however. Up ahead to Kluge, a three-point attempt. That's no good, and the rebound underneath goes out of bounds with 1 second to play. It will go to St. Cloud State, but the game is over. 63-57. Mavericks will win their 5th here in the league. They're 11th overall. Thurston gets it into Poole. Poole shoots at the buzzer, but hits the side of the glass, and that's it. 63-57. Mankato State winning it tonight over St. Cloud State. The Mavericks go to 5-3 overall in the conference, that is. They are 11-6 overall. St. Cloud State 2-6 in the conference, 9-9 overall. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
It's 25 miles in town, and you need a good reason to drive. Maybe it's the barbecue they serve at the Beacon Trout Cafe, or maybe it's the girls who dish it out.
Senior, Good Hope leads the club in free throw shooting and in assists. He also averages 11 points per game.
That's the other score, 6'9", junior from St. Paul, Minnesota, number 35, Brad Byfield. At center, a 6'8", senior from Rock Island, Illinois, number 45, Blair DeLong. At a guard, 6'2", senior from South Central City, Nebraska, number 11, Mike Graves. At a guard, 6'5", senior from Winter, South Dakota, number 13, Sam Goodhope. Head coach of the Coyotes, the coach is assistant John Lemon. And now for our Huskies. Our hot shot manager for tonight's game is Brent Nelson. And a forward, a 6'5" senior from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, number 40, Captain Troy Rudolph. At the other court, a 6'4" freshman from Winthrop, Minnesota, number 34, Scott Springer. At center, a 6'6" senior from Wilmer, Minnesota, number 22, Captain Mark Harvey. At a guard, a 6-foot senior from Moraine, Ohio, number 24, Alaric Bingy Poole. At a guard, a 5'10" senior from Key West, Florida, number 14, Orion Thurston. Head coach of the Huskies, Butch Freeman, and his staff, Kevin Slagle, Brad Gisberger, Gary Wooler, Reggie Perkins.
Men's basketball on AM 1240. St. Cloud State and the University of South Dakota. There's the tap, and it's controlled by Harvey. He outjumped Byfield. Huskies into the front court. Quick pass underneath. Springer with the reverse layoff off a nice feed from Thurston.
The Coyotes were in a man-to-man, and they lost their man.
So Scott Springer gives the Huskies an early 2-0 lead. Into the front court. Here comes